The veil between life and death is thin, especially beneath the watchful eyes of ancient trees in forgotten cemeteries. Their roots twist deep into the ground, intertwining with the stories of those laid to rest. Tonight we venture into these hallowed grounds to unearth tales that are not for the faint of heart. Join me if you dare as we explore the graves that grow, cemeteries with trees from tombstones. We'll uncover the chilling stories of cemeteries where nature has taken back what was once hers, blurring the line between life, death, and something else. Prepare yourself. These are not just stories. They are whispers from beyond the grave. Nestled deep within the heart of rural America, shrouded in a chilling mist that never seems to dissipate, lies the haunted oak cemetery. The air itself feels heavy here, thick with the weight of sorrow and secrets best left buried. Towering above the weathered tombstones, their branches clawing at the sky like gnarled fingers, stand the ancient oaks that give this cemetery its ominous name. Locals whisper tales of these oaks, their voices hushed, their eyes wide with fear. They say the trees themselves are haunted, possessed by the restless spirits of the souls laid to rest beneath their sprawling canopies. It's said that the trees feed off the energy of the deceased, their roots tunneling deep into the earth, intertwining with the bones of the forgotten. One particular oak stands as a chilling sentinel at the edge of the cemetery. Its trunk is unusually thick, gnarled and twisted, as if contorted by some unseen force. The bark is a sickly pale, almost gray, and it's said that if you press your ear against its rough surface, you can hear the faint whispers of tormented souls. Legend has it that this particular oak sprouted from the grave of a man named Elias Thorne, a cruel and heartless man who met a gruesome end. Thorne was notorious for his ruthlessness, his greed, and his utter disregard for human life. He amassed a fortune through treachery and deceit, leaving a trail of broken lives and shattered dreams in his wake. But Thorne's reign of terror came to an abrupt end one stormy night. As the legend goes, a group of his victims, driven to desperation by his cruelty, sought revenge. They cornered him in the dead of night, their faces obscured by the shadows, their eyes burning with righteous fury. Thorne's screams were swallowed by the howling wind as they dragged him to the oak grove at the edge of town. They say the oak trees themselves seemed to bend closer, their branches swaying menacingly as if eager to participate in the gruesome act. Thorne's lifeless body was found the next morning, his eyes wide with terror, his face contorted in a silent scream. Strangely, a single oak sapling had sprouted from the ground where Thorne's body lay. Some whispered that it was Thorne himself, his soul twisted and contorted, forever trapped in the form of the grotesque tree. Others claimed it was the vengeance of his victims, their rage and sorrow manifesting in the oak's twisted form. Whatever its origins, the haunted oak, as it came to be known, became a source of both fear and fascination in the small town. People would travel for miles to see the grotesque tree, drawn by a morbid curiosity. But few dared to approach it at night, for it was said that when the moon was full and the wind howled through its branches, the tormented screams of Elias Thorne could be heard echoing through the cemetery. High atop a windswept hill, overlooking the crashing waves of the Atlantic Ocean, lies the Whispering Pines graveyard. Unlike the haunted oak cemetery with its oppressive air and chilling mist, the Whispering Pines graveyard is a place of melancholic beauty. The sun shines brightly here, casting long shadows from the towering pine trees that sway gently in the ocean breeze. But don't let the serene facade fool you. The Whispering Pines graveyard harbors its own dark secrets whispered on the wind that whistles through the needles of the ancient pines. Locals tell of strange occurrences here, of disembodied whispers carried on the breeze, of cold spots that send shivers down your spine, and of the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. The pines themselves are the source of both the graveyard's beauty and its unsettling aura. Their trunks, tall and straight, seem to stretch endlessly towards the heavens, their needles whispering secrets to the wind. It's said that these pines sprouted from the graves of sailors lost at sea, their souls forever bound to the land they longed to return to. One particular tale stands out amongst the many whispers that surround the Whispering Pines graveyard. It's the story of Captain Jeremiah Blackwood and his beloved ship, the Sea Serpent. Captain Blackwood was a legend in his own time, a skilled seaman and a fearless adventurer who had sailed the seven seas and returned with tales that would make your hair stand on end. But Captain Blackwood's luck ran out one fateful voyage. The Sea Serpent, caught in a violent storm, was dashed against the jagged rocks just off the coast. The wreckage was never found, and Captain Blackwood and his crew were lost to the depths. Months later, a single pine sapling sprouted from the cliff overlooking the site of the shipwreck. The townsfolk, touched by the tragedy, believed it to be the soul of Captain Blackwood, forever watching over the unforgiving sea that had claimed him. They say that on stormy nights, when the wind howls and the waves crash against the rocks, you can still hear Captain Blackwood's voice carried on the wind, warning sailors away from the treacherous coast. Some even claim to have seen the ghostly apparition of the Sea Serpent sailing through the fog, her sails tattered, her masts broken, forever searching for a safe harbor. The Whispering Pines grave, with its melancholic beauty and its haunting whispers, serves as a constant reminder of the power of the sea and the fragility of life. It's a place where the veil between the living and the dead seems thin, where the wind carries the whispers of lost souls, and where the trees themselves stand as silent sentinels, their roots intertwined with the bones of those who rest beneath. Chapter 3. The Shadowy Elm Burial Ground. Hidden deep within a forgotten corner of a sprawling metropolis, shrouded in perpetual twilight by the towering skyscrapers that loom over its crumbling walls, lies the shadowy Elm Burial Ground. The air hangs heavy here, thick with the stench of decay and the weight of forgotten sins. The elms twist and contort unnaturally, their branches reaching out like grasping claws, their leaves forever coated in grime. The ground is perpetually damp, littered with broken headstones and urban detritus. The city has grown around the burial ground, swallowing it whole, but it remains untouched, a festering wound on the urban landscape. Few dare to venture within its walls, and those who do speak of a darkness that seeps into your soul, of disembodied whispers, and of the feeling of being watched by something ancient and malevolent. The shadowy Elm Burial Ground is said to be haunted by the spirits of those who died forgotten and alone, their souls unable to find peace. One particular elm tree stands as a testament to the darkness that pervades the burial ground. Known as the Weeping Elm, its twisted trunk seems to writhe in agony, its branches drooping towards the ground. A constant stream of viscous black sap oozes from its bark, leaving long, dripping trails that resemble dried blood. Legend has it that the weeping elm sprouted from the grave of Mary Shaw, a young woman who met a gruesome end within the burial ground's walls. Mary, an aspiring actress, was lured to the burial ground one foggy night by the promise of a film role. She was never seen alive again. Her body was discovered weeks later, her face mutilated beyond recognition. The weeping elm, they say, sprouted from the very spot where Mary's body was discovered. The shadowy Elm Burial Ground, with its palpable darkness and haunting tales, serves as a chilling reminder of the underbelly of urban life. It's a place where the line between the living and the dead is blurred, where the darkness festers and grows, and where the trees themselves seem to weep for the lost and the forgotten. As we step back from the shadows of these haunted cemeteries, let the chill of their stories linger. Remember, sometimes the most beautiful places hide the darkest secrets. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of darkness, be sure to leave a like and tell me which story chilled you to the bone. And don't forget to subscribe and join me next time for more tales from the crypt. Sleep well, if you can.